Yeah, don't bury that stuff.
Okay, all right, wonderful. I really appreciate your help.
Great.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Certainly.
All right, and now let's head to Oakville and into Ben's yard.
Hello, Ben.
Morning. I have a large stump in my backyard. Actually, it's 40 inches in diameter. If I cut a hole in the stump and plant a crown of thorns, would it grow?
No. Crown of thorns is not a hardy plant, first of all. So, basically, nothing will grow in a stump. So, regardless of what you do, what happens is, I'm assuming the stump has been there for how long? Or how long has the tree been removed?
Okay, the tree's been removed for about 5 years.
Yeah, still it has the wood quality. That's why, you know, let's say from Ameren coming in and clearing stuff off power lines, the wood that they take down and just spread, that really costs more than wood. So when they offer it free, what happens is actually the wood will absorb nutrients, moisture, and other things. So anything that you plant where the wood content is really high, which is a stump, is not going to enable anything to be able to survive whatsoever. You can set a pot on top of it, but other than that, you can't plant anything in the stump.
Now, even if when you take the wood out of the stump, after you dig it out, you put dirt in it, but it's still not going to grow.
No, basically what's going to happen is actually the impact of the wood that's surrounding it is going to cause, you know, the new plants that you put there, you know, some real trouble. So even if you have the stump ground out and everything else, I never advise people to plant right over where the stump was, because the wood content is still really high, and the wood is, until the stump starts falling apart, then you break as much of the wood away, and I'd still be very cautious about trying to plant something exactly where that stump was.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, thank you so very much. I appreciate the information.
Sure.
Thank you.
And now we're headed to Wright City and talking to Kevin.
Hi, Kevin.
Good morning. Okay, so the tree whose first syllable is what they all look like this year. Can you tell me what that's all about?
The tree whose first syllable?
Sick or more. They all look sickly. Is it from the rain or...
I don't know, but I'll tell you, in Wright City that's happening, all the sycamores in the city, they have a lot of, like street trees around the park, they all look like skeletons. I mean...
Well, that's what... I just came all the way from Granite City to Wright City, and they all look the same.
Yeah.
They either have hardly any leaves at all, or the leaves they do have are very small, and as you know, sycamore leaves are very big.
Right.
And I hate cutting them down, but people are wanting me to, because all you do is sneeze and hop and spit the whole time, because it's very allergenic trees. So, anyway, I was just wondering if you knew what was going on with them.
Now, it's got to be related to weather. That's the only thing I can think of. That one really severe cold snap, I can only think that the sycamore buds, were exposed or something. But I mean, around us, there's probably, let's say, within the park that's right across the street, and within our neighborhood, there's probably like 30 sycamores, and there may be one that looks halfway normal, adequate, and the other 29 look horrible.
Well, maybe that one drained better or something. That's all I can think of.
Yeah.
Sitting in water too long or something, because they all look sickly.
Right, and with sycamores, I mean, they can handle pretty much a lot of water, and especially after all these years. I mean, these are big trees that I'm talking about, and the ones you're talking about are probably large as well. And I think it's just...
Yeah, they're large.
Yeah, weather-related, with temperature-wise, rain-wise, and everything. Just it was a nasty combination for that particular variety of trees.
Right. Well, and that last guy, too, that called about the stumps, I think maybe he was talking about like a 30 or 28-inch tall stump, just hollowing a part of it out and putting dirt in there. And then I do that with flowers all the time, and it works quite well. But if he's talking about the stump is already ground down, then you're 100% right. I thought maybe he was just talking about sitting them down in there and using the stump as a planter itself. I've had very good luck with that.
Oh, great. Well, thanks for the insight. Appreciate it.
Okay. Have a good day.
Yep.
And Mike, let's talk to Kate. She's on her way to Brighton.
Hi, Kate.
Hi.
Go ahead.
I was calling to see if I planted some of the Roberta's creeping thyme last year, and they were little babies. And some of them, the ones I planted like in the dirt, it said they like sandy but none of those came back. They all died. But I planted some in like mulch, and those have come back this year, and they're huge. And my question is, can I split those and move them?
Not this time of year. It's too late.
Oh.
I mean, you can try it, but I mean, this is the time of year where we're really facing some harsh weather. You know, even though this is still May for another few days, we've got summer coming up in about 3 or 4 weeks, and who knows how intense it's going to be. And you split plants, you're tearing up the root system by splitting them, and consequently they may not get reestablished enough to be able to handle the relocation or the transplanting. And even though herbs, you know, like a drier soil and everything else, they still, you know, probably with the circumstance where they didn't make it was just too dry, and, you know, whatever happened. And the other ones you just kind of got lucky with if they're growing in just pure mulch.
Yeah, they are. But I didn't know if it's all, because, I mean, they've come up above the ground and they've spread, but I don't know if there's any root system under there. You know, like, I haven't even tried to pull anything yet. I just don't even know if they're splittable.
Right, exactly. I'm growing creeping thyme in window boxes, and mine have been spectacular. I planted them last fall, and they've really done well, and thinking about trying to stick a few of them in the ground, but I'm going to wait. You know, I might stick a couple in the ground just so if somebody calls in the future and says, well, can I do my, you know, thyme, you know, into the ground right now? I can say, yes, you got great luck with it, because the garden centers still have a lot of plant material and everything else. It's just that and the root systems are already intact, so you're just pulling them out of the pot from the nursery and planting them. But to divide something, you're tearing up the plant material, and that's where the problem comes in.
Okay, I won't touch those, but I have one. I did plant, I don't know, I think maybe 3 little babies in a great big potter. So those right there, can I take those and put those in the ground?
Yeah, just make sure that you get, you know, the entire root system. Yeah, water it the night before, and then, you know, pull them up, you know, dig them up.
Okay, that's good. And then with the rest of them, do I need to split them in the fall, or when is a good time for me to split those and replant?
I would probably say wait until we come out of wintertime, sometime middle of March or something along that line.
Oh, next year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, again, it's just, I mean, you could do it in the fall if you want to, because the ground's really warm and everything else. But I always, with the herbs in general, I like to spring plant or translocate or whatever.
All right, and just go right in the center of the plant, do you think?
No, I'd pull up the whole plant and then chop the plant into pieces.
Okay. All right, sounds good.
Great. Well, good luck.
Appreciate it. Thanks for your help.
Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Mike Brother KMO Garden Hotline back after these messages.
Unbelievable.